We often prefer staying in our comfort zones, but why is that? The answer lies in how our brains are wired. Our brains are designed to keep us safe, so they crave predictability and routine. These things feel secure. When we step outside of this comfort zone, our brain reacts with a sense of danger, even when there is no real threat. The amygdala, a small part of the brain that processes fear, is at the center of this reaction. Thousands of years ago, the amygdala helped humans survive by triggering the fight or flight response when they encountered danger, like a wild animal. Today, even though we don't face wild animals, our amygdala still reacts to unfamiliar situations as if they are life-threatening. Have you ever felt your heart race or palms sweat before doing something new? That's your amygdala at work, signaling that stepping out of your comfort zone feels unsafe. But in many cases, the risk isn't as high as your brain makes it seem. Your brain might tell you, "Don't apply for that job, you'll embarrass yourself," or "Don't speak up in class, you might make a mistake." But is the risk really as big as it seems? Or is your brain simply trying to keep you in your safe bubble? Let's break this down. Suppose you're about to give a presentation. Your amygdala triggers fear, causing your heart to pound and palms to sweat. But giving a presentation isn't life or death. The amygdala doesn't know that. It reacts to what's unfamiliar. The good news is that you can train your brain. The fear response is automatic, but the brain is adaptable. Every time you face something new and come out unharmed, your brain learns that the situation wasn't as scary as it thought. Over time, this reduces fear and builds confidence. Another reason we stay comfortable is the fear of failure. Society often celebrates success but rarely talks about the mistakes that lead to it. This creates pressure to be perfect, making us avoid risks.
But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Think about a toddler learning to walk. They fall repeatedly, but keep trying because each fall helps them learn. As adults, we forget this lesson and let the fear of failure hold us back. But what if we embraced failure as part of growth, just like a toddler? To identify your comfort zones, think about areas in your life where you feel safest, your routines, social circles, or approach to challenges. Now ask yourself, what's one thing I've been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? Write it down. Recognizing these areas is the first step to expanding your comfort zone. Take Ben, for example. He was a graphic designer who avoided public speaking. Whenever asked to present his ideas, he'd make excuses. One day, he volunteered to give a short presentation. His hands shook, and his voice wavered, but he pushed through. His team praised his ideas. That small win boosted his confidence, and today, Ben leads creative workshops for large groups. He didn't wait for the fear to go away. He acted despite it. Next time fear arises, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? What's the most likely outcome? The worst-case scenario is often not as bad as we think, and the rewards are worth the risk.